What is up, guys? This is Reaper Fear bringing you a Call of Duty MW3 random class video, and before this video gets underway, I'd just like to say to leave a like rating if you like the video, and remember to subscribe if you want to see more, because I do put out content pretty much every day, and I think that's pretty cool, so give that a like. Anyways, today, I guess I just want to talk about some random things, just roll with the topics, see how far they bring me. The first one I want to talk about is the Syria situation, and how it affects us and all that good stuff. Anyways, Syria is, for those who don't know, Syria is a small country near the Middle East, and it is currently under a civil war, I do believe. There is a government, oppressive government, and there is a rebellion, and I think that dictates civil war, somewhere around that line. But recently there have been outstanding proof of use of chemical weapons, which are banned by the Geneva Convention and the UN on war because of the possibility of civilian casualties and everything like that. And it has been confirmed that they've killed, I think the last time I saw was like 1,000 people. Like, one attack killed like 100, and there have been like multiple attacks. And these accusations have been going on all year, that there have been chemical attacks in Syria, but we've had no proof until now. And so Obama's kind of stuck in a tough spot, because the US is expected to intervene, because every other country sees us as a national intervening force, I guess. But anyways, it's definitely, yeah, and this match ends like right away, so I played 2 matches with this class. But it's definitely hard to read, because it's I mean, it's the future. I mean, it's soon to be World War III. There are going to be a lot of people fighting this war, because China and Russia have both warned us not to intervene in the Syria conflict, and France is all the way behind us. So who knows where this will go, who knows how far this will go. As far as people saying, yeah, we should just start World War III, it'll boost our economy, I think that was kind of a one-time thing for World War II. It only boosted our economy because women got involved in the workforce, and we could produce a lot more stuff. And why our economy is broken right now is because we have too many workers for not enough jobs. And so that'd be a problem if women hadn't taken on such a primary role as the breadwinner, as they had to during World War II. All of our men were overseas fighting. And I'll say it right out, World War II was a great equalizer for men and women for equality, but it definitely ruined our financial situation because of this. The women replaced all the men in the workforce, and when the men came home, they had no jobs, and so new jobs had to be made. So the unemployment rate after World War II is actually very, very high, and so that was a really big thing. And especially with this war, if we start the next quote-unquote World War III, is the threat of the use of nuclear weapons and the cost of these weapons. World War II didn't cost nearly as much as World War III would for us. A standard Tomahawk missile, I hope I'm getting the right missile, is, I think, $1.25 million. That is a lot of money, and we would be launching thousands, hundreds of thousands of missiles. And, I mean, we'd be launching anti-air-to-air missiles, land-to-air missiles, sea-to-air missiles, sea-to-ground missiles, or ocean-to-ground missiles, and all that sort of thing. And it was really difficult to start reading this and be like, well, what should we actually do? And it was really hard to say that I think that it's time for the United States to put its foot down and say, no, we are not the international police. Okay? We cannot enforce every country to do these things. There are too many double standards for our country. People get mad at us if we intervene, people get mad at us if we don't intervene. And usually they're the same people, which in its own right is really, really frustrating. And so, going back to the whole thing is, I don't think Obama will do a lot. He's not a big man of decisions, he's a big man of talking. And so I think Obama will have a limited military reaction to whatever's going on in Syria. and not much else, because there's not a lot else he can do. If he gets too involved, we'll be occupying Syria like the next Iraq and Afghanistan and everything like that. And some people say it's for the better. Maybe it's definitely been a problem for a long time. But you could say it's the same thing about Israel or any of those other sovereign states that are still in heavy states of civil war because of a disagreement or something like that. But it's really hard to read because of the just the impacts it has on everyday Americans and what it means to us, what impacts it will have on us. And I think that'll suck, and it's really hard, and it's definitely really hard to read about every day. And I will say that I did read an article. I'll just go off the news today, I guess, talking about the Union, not the Union Jack, but flying the Confederate flag and why it was still flown, because it is known as a symbol of a nation of hate in the United States. And no, I can say that I find the Confederate flag very offensive. I do believe that it stands for it was not used. Okay, the thing with the people is that, oh, it was used as like a national flag for the southern states. No, it wasn't. Okay, it was not the sovereign flag. It was used as a battle flag. And the people were like, oh, it was just a battle flag. It doesn't mean that big of a thing. And it was really, I mean, it doesn't matter that you don't find it as offensive. It should be, and people are like, oh, well, you should be offended at the Stars and Stripes because it was, I mean, they flew the same flag when they were enslaving you in the North. But we strove to change that. You did not, okay? You were not for changing slavery. You were for keeping slavery. And it was, I mean, you might not be for slavery now. I know there's still a lot of very judgmental, racist people in this world, and it's pretty awful. I live in one of the whitest states on Earth, one of the whitest states in the United States, and that's Maine. We have probably 2 black people in our entire school, so we don't know what it is like to be diverse as a people, as a culture. So there is naturally a lot of racism in this society that I live in anyways, and I have tried my damned hardest not to let it affect me, but I'm sure it has on some subliminal levels or something. I think negatively of someone who is of different color or different race or anything like that, because we don't have a lot of differences here. Everyone's pretty much the same. I mean, half the island that I live on has the same was connected to the same family, so it was definitely pretty not separated. Anyways, it was, and going as far as the Confederate flag, people are still up in arms over like, yeah, we should be able to fly our Confederate flags, and many people still do. Of course, it was the Hicks up here, of course, fly their flags, fly the stupid flag, even though they were never part of the South. They were just the fake Hicks. But it doesn't matter that it wasn't offensive to you, and that's what you need to understand, is that it is offensive to a lot of other people because it was a symbol that was synonymous with hate, and the Ku Klux Klan used it, and that doesn't mean that you should suffer for that, but it means that you should respect those around you and not tell them to just deal with it, because guess what? They dealt with it for 400 years. 400 years of slavery. And I think we owe it to them to not use a flag, okay? I think it's time for them to get a break. They don't need any more pressure than what's already on them. People who, I know there are a lot of people disagree with me that say ethnic people of all different colors, will have a lot better chance of success in this world nowadays because of their ability to receive financial aid for college and things like that, and get government loans. And yes, yes, it is necessarily true, because a lot of colleges have a very white population, and so they're looking to diversify, and so what that does is it gives them more grant money from the government, and if they have a certain diverse group. So yes, the kid with a 2.6 GPA who is Native American will get into the college even though you have a 4.0 and have never gotten anything below an A. But, and it isn't fair, no, but have they earned it? No. I would say no, but it's something that it's just the way of our world. It's inequality all around. There's not a lot we can do about it, but they deserve some respect, especially after what they had to do to get here. And even so, I mean, Obama, our first black president, and I know locals here that were ragging on how they couldn't live in this country anymore because they had a nigger for president. And yes, I will say that word because I'm not afraid to use it. It's offensive, yes, and it's horrible, yes, but it's something that we need to come to terms with. So, anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I'd love to hear your comments back on what I talked about. And I hope you guys have had a good day. So, until next time, this is Reap Your Fear saying peace out for now. And peace.